Introducing the newest phenom to the world of YouTube boxing.
What is he? Some kind of musician?
Mom, I think you need a new phone. He's a speaker of some sort.
I think he's all of that, guys. Here's the old man boxing fan.
What's up, YouTube? OMB in the house. You know what I'm saying? Man, had a quick fight last night. We ain't gonna talk about that one though. We gonna talk about Mr. Adrian Granados and Javier Fortuna. I'm gonna tell you the truth. We gonna take the 4 off his name right now, because that fight last night was just tuna. Fishy as fuck. Excuse my language, y'all. But anyway, it was fishy. It was a bit too fishy. And actually, I'm gonna take that beyond fishy. Yo, man. Yo, Javier. Mr. Fortuna. My bad, Mr. Tuna. We ain't stupid, man. You chicken of the sea, man. You are chicken of the sea. Tuna. Period, point blank. Just tuna. Yo. First let me say this. I'm not gonna say Javier Fortuna cannot fight. He can fight. But it's whether he wants to fight. You know what I mean? Because that fight he fought against Robert Easter, in my opinion, he did pretty well. I think the fight could have been a draw. It could have been a draw. You know what I'm saying? Or it could have went either way, you know, but I'd see it more as a draw. Because, you know, the problem I have with the tall guys like Robert Easter and Adrian Granados, like as far as them fighting shorter guys, yo, why do you guys do that to the shorter guys? You underestimate them. Oh, I'm just gonna walk in here and take his head off, and you find out that it's not working for you. His punches may not hurt you, but he's landing. He's making you look like a fool. But anyway, let's get to the fight. All right, Adrian Granados. Let me start off with you first. You did the same thing Robert Easter did. You tried to go in there and knock the guy out instead of using your length to set him up. You know, I mean, you were jumping in there and you were getting caught. He slowed you down a few times. You know, and I watched it. I'm like, ooh, his body shots were slowing you down, Granados. Because your game plan was to go in there and just go and try to rush the guy, bull rush him. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is not a Jared Hurd. You know, that Hurd does that very well. But anyway, in my opinion, Granados was losing the fight until that point. You know, I was like, dang, Granados. You know, except for the points taken away from Javier, because look, and I'm not gonna fully fault Javier for that. He's the smaller guy. How in the world is he going to grab you from the top and pull you down if you don't come? If you're not coming down there for him to pull you down? You know, I mean, I'm watching you guys try to fight on the inside. Tuna knows that he cannot fight you on the inside like that. He is not going to win that battle. He is too small. So he had to hold you. But there was times you were holding Mr. Adrian Granados, you know. And I'm like, you know, if you watch Adrian Granados, he'll try to come in and he'll charge. When he charge, what happens? He ducks down trying to dig in. So when he ducks down trying to dig in, your head is by his head. When you come up, you're going to knock him silly with your head. You know, so yeah, he's going to grab you, and then he knows you're stronger than him. So he is going to grab you. And yeah, you were coming on, but Mr. Adrian Granados, no. I don't know what everybody else was looking at, but I didn't see you winning the fight until that point. I mean, if he had done this, if Tuna had done this later on, like me, and kept on doing what he was doing, fifth or sixth round, he could have won the fight on points. Because Adrian Granados was just trying to go in there and just bull rush him. Now, I'll be honest. If the fight had went the full 12 rounds, in my opinion, Adrian Granados would have beat him. Probably would have knocked him out from the sheer how can I say aggression. You know what I mean? But at the same time, Adrian Granados does slow down. He loses steam. And he starts throwing winging punches like he was throwing. Well, kind of sort of throwing it like that. But he wasn't throwing the jab. He was trying to fight on the inside. Now, let's get to Tuna, the chicken of the sea. Okay. He was doing pretty good, man, until that point. But let's get to that point. Hey, man. At first, I was like, oh, when they showed it for the side view, I was like, oh, man, damn, yo, yeah, his head looked like he hit it. But then they showed, it's a little black box down there is what I'm talking about, that his head hit. Well, supposedly hit. And then they showed it from the top view. I said, nah, man. Nah, he chumping out. So, while this thing was going on, yo, I'm going to tell you right now, I was staring hard, man. I was eyeing this dude like a doctor would eye you. You know what I'm saying? If he's trying to look, if he's looking at you from the top view, I'm waiting for any little spot or anything. I'm like, if he hit his head that hard, it got to be some kind of something down there. Not just wet, just a little bit of red. You know, because from what I see, his head didn't hit anything. But I'm thinking, okay, was there something up under where his head was? But when you look, his head swings back, but it only goes so far. And then he brings him, and then I believe he starts to bring himself back up, and he has a little bit of help. But there was nothing there. His head went straight back. His head. Now, let's say that his head had hit the side of the canvas. If his body had went back that far from where his legs was, his whole body would have came off. But that didn't happen. He had that box. If you're sitting and you're facing the ring, the box was on his left-hand side. His arm was right there on that side. And it kept him, it basically blocked his head from hitting it. His head went first, but the shoulders and that arm area, the top of the arm area, stopped his head from hitting it. He faked that. I'm sorry, y'all. He didn't want no more. Now, the only props that I do give Adrian Granados when I was listening to his interviews, he said, yeah, he was coming on to him. Yeah, you were coming on to him. Indeed, you were. But, well, I can't say but anything. Yeah. Well, yeah, no. But all the stuff you were saying in the beginning, nah, man. Nah. It wasn't all of that. You wasn't. In my opinion, Adrian Granados was not winning that fight. He was missing a lot of punches. And then not only that, when you watch Adrian Granados and he throws his punches, he was so stiff that his punches didn't have the steam that they should have had. It was more like pushing Tuna back a little bit, and he caught him. Don't get it twisted. He caught him, but he caught Tuna a few times. But Tuna was catching Adrian Granados and slowing him down to where Adrian Granados had to think. He had to rethink his game plan on how he gonna get in there and knock this guy out, and it wasn't working. You know, until that point, yeah, he started coming on. He started landing punches. I mean, Adrian Granados was landing some good punches, but he still had too much aggression. He should have calmed down, set up his punches with the jab, he would have got him out of there. He would have got Tuna out of there. He would have slapped him in between two pieces of bread and said, food, had he used his length. But he didn't do that. He tried to go in there and bull rush the guy. You know, and I partly fault a lot of these tall guys for trying to jump in like that instead of using their length, and then they complain about being held and this, that, and the third. But if you're the bigger, taller guy and you're going to bring yourself down to the shorter guy's level instead of using what you have, your attributes, you know what I'm saying, using your attributes to your best ability, yo, what happens then. I mean, period, point blank. But anyway, I just want to say, you know, I think Javier Tuna, let me stop saying his name like that. Javier Fortuna, I think he quit. Honestly, it's evident to me. His head didn't hit anything. You know, we ain't heard nothing since. You know, let's see what kind of extravagant story they're going to come up with. Or some kind of, oh yeah, well he had some kind of, I guess, neck strain or whatever it is. You know, we'll see. Old Man Boxing, signing out. Peace.